On the 3.1 to 3.3 quiz sample, we had 3 problems, 4, 5, and 6, that involved I. The big deal to know about I is that I squared is equal to -1, or that the square root of -1 is equal to I. They're equivalent to each other. So to solve these problems, that's really all we need to keep in mind. So on number 4, we're going to say 5 is on the outside already, but the perfect square that goes into -40 would be -4 and 10. 4 times 10 is 40, of course. So the square root of 4 is 2, but the square root of -4 is 2i, because the square root of -1 is I. So 2i square root of 10. The outside numbers can multiply together, so you get 10i square root of 10. And that's it. In the second one, we're just subtracting expressions. I would suggest maybe considering getting rid of the parentheses first, so you have -4 plus 9i. The only mistake I saw was when people did minus 9i, and instead of subtracting, they were adding or something. 3 minus 4 is -1. They're like terms. 7i plus 9i makes 16i, and that's the final answer. And the last one, we're doing it by multiplying. Now, you might consider multiplying with a little aid, like, for instance, a little box. 5 minus 3i. You don't have to do it this way, but you do need to get all 4 products. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 11i is 55i. 2 times -3 is -6i. And lastly, -3i times 11i is -33i squared. Remember that -1 is the same as I squared. So this -33i squared is the same as -33 times -1, which is +33. Now, combining like terms, they're along the diagonals. 10 plus 33 is 43, and 55i minus 6i is 49i. So that's our final answer, 43 plus 49i. So please try these 3 problems, which are very similar. Pause the video and see if you can get these answers. So the first one, -9, 40, 28, -28 has a -4 in it, times 7. So that's -9 times 2i, very similar to the last problem, -18i radical 7. So that's the first one. The second one, 15 minus 6 minus 8i minus I, because distributing that negative over the 6 makes it -6 minus 8i. Combining like terms, 15 minus 6 is 9. 8i, -8i minus I is minus 9i. Sorry about the sign there. So that's minus 9i. And the last one, I would multiply however you're going to do the multiplication. If you want to do it in box, that's fine. If you don't want, I'll show it another way. I'll just do FOIL. 4 times 2 is 8. The outer terms would be minus 12i. The inner terms, 7i times 2 would be positive 14i. And the last terms would be minus 21i squared. Minus 21i squared, of course, is the same as plus 21, because -21 times -1 makes positive 21. So my final answer is 8 and 21 makes 29. 14 minus 12i is 2i. There's a final answer for that.